Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Halftime, the show where I play the first half hour of a brand new video game, and I give you my thoughts and opinions on it at the end. I'm Adam Wolf from Gamers Platform, and today we're on to a game that's not quite new, but it's not that old yet either. I think people are still looking for info on it, and I'm certainly looking to give it to them. It's Alien Isolation. This is great. I finally get a chance to record this game, and, well, it's been a long time coming. I've had it since release. I got it for free because I bought the graphics card that I have right now, and they had a little special promo going on with it, so I'm really happy to finally get into it. This episode is going to be a little different from the previous episodes because I had a little hardware hiccup, and the voiceover actually never even got recorded, but the gameplay did. So then this got me thinking, maybe this is a happy accident, because maybe the format of the show should change. You guys are really looking to see and hear the game as it is right now, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a little intro right here, and then I'll continue on with the review at the end of the video. So we're going to be playing some Alien Isolation today. I really hope you guys enjoy this game, because it's looking like it's going to be a good one, and I've certainly been waiting to do this one for quite some time now. So, without further ado, let's get gaming.
Final report of the commercial starship Nostromo. Third officer reporting. The other members of the crew: Kane, Lambert, Parker, Brett, Ash, and Captain Dallas are dead. Cargo and ship destroyed. I should reach the frontier in about 6 weeks. With a little luck, the network will pick me up. This is Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo, signing off.
Ripley? I'm Samuels. I work for the company. It's about your mother. We think we may have found her, Amanda. A commercial vessel, the Anisadora, has recovered what we believe to be the flight recorder unit of the Nostromo.
Where?
Zeta Reticula.
What did it tell you?
We don't know. The unit was taken to Sevastopol station. It's proprietorial material, so the company wants it to be collected as soon as possible. Sevastopol's a supply depot in the region. It's a permanent free port facility.
I know what it is.
Transit's arranged. There's a courier ship called the Torrents heading out that way in 2 days. We're going to travel out.
We?
Me and another exec. And you. if you're willing. Look, Ripley, when this job came across my desk, I read the case history. I know why you're working in the region where she went missing. You're still looking, aren't you? I've been cleared to offer you a place on the torrents if you want to come along. Maybe there'll be some closure for you.
Taylor, good morning.
Ripley, it's certainly not good, and I very much doubt it's morning either. Sorry. I feel like death. I don't know how you people put up with hypersleep regularly.
You get used to it.
I don't do long haul very often. Most legal execs don't travel further than the coffee machine.
I'm surprised Weyland-Yutani felt the need to send legal at all.
The loss of the Nostromo and its cargo cost the company a lot of money. It's important we find out what happened. If I can close the case with a conclusive accident report, it'll look great with my superiors. I'm sorry. That was insensitive. I realize your mother has been missing for 15 years, and you...
It's okay. We'll both get what we want, right?
Have you seen Samuels? He's probably been up for hours.
I'll catch up with him.
Ah, Ripley.
Samuels, did you wake up early?
Well, I don't really need as much sleep as the rest of you. I was just inspecting the Torrens facilities. A well-maintained ship. I realize it's a very similar model to...
The Nostromo.
Yes, M-class. A later pattern, but close in spec.
I've worked engineering jobs on ships like this.
Of course. Is Taylor up yet? She's not a seasoned traveler. Hypersleep may have been punishing for her.
We talked. She seems nervous.
I hadn't noticed. She's a skilled executive, though. Should help us with any legal issues we might encounter.
All personnel to the bridge, approaching Sevastopol Station.
Looks like we're up.
Hope you all had a restful journey.
The Torrens is in very good order for an old M-class captain.
She was a wreck when I bought her. Took a few years and a lot of contracts to refit. She pays for herself now.
You said we're approaching Sevastopol Station. Are we docking?
I believe your contact is Marshal Waits, is that right? I'll hail Sevastopol and arrange boarding with him.
Good. Let's get this done.
Don't worry, Miss Taylor. Routine. In and out. Connor, how we doing?
SMG loaded and calibrated. Approach vector locked.
Prep comm so I can say hello.
Channel open, Captain.
Does everyone have their briefing documents?
You can watch the approach on the monitors.
Can we see it?
Switch to monitors. Sevastopol Station.
Is that damage?
It looks like damage.
Punch up 74, tight angle.
Looks like the dry dock bay is screwed.
I can't bring the Torrens into that.
This is the commercial vessel Torrens out of St. Clair, registration number MSV7760, calling Sevastopol Traffic Control. We're carrying 3 passengers on a Wayland.
Yutani Bond, you're holding the Nostromo flight recorder unit. We request immediate permission to transfer the passengers portside over.
This Waits, Colonial Marshal, Sevastopol Station. Serious situation.
Hello, Marshal? Marshal, this is the Torrens. Say again? The station's comms seem pretty screwed up, so I fitted Samuel's suit with a radio booster. I can only keep the Torrens in transit for 24 hours.
You'll have heard from us by then.
Safe trip.
Stand by. My contract doesn't cover bloody spacewalks. It's the only option, and it's perfectly safe if you do what I tell you. Depressurizing. Fuck. Hating this. Just shadow me, Taylor. You too, Samuels.
Affirmative.
What happened here?
mode, Ripley. You're doing good, Taylor. Just keep moving!
Taylor, Ripley, hold on!
Samuels! Taylor! Respond! Anybody! Okay.
This'll help. Hello? Anyone here? Doesn't anything here work?
Okay, so now we get to the fun part, the review. Basically, I had a blast playing this game. I know it was only a half hour, and a half hour really isn't a lot to really dive deep into the game, but you gotta understand that if the game itself doesn't really capture you within at least the first half hour, then it's probably not a game worth playing. With that out of the way, the beginning to this game was a little bit sluggish, just a tiny bit. Sorry, I hit the mic there for a second. Just a tiny bit sluggish. It wasn't great. You know, it wasn't like amazingly well started. You know, it started out introducing you to some of the main characters and everything, and you know, the whole getting up out of, you know, hypersleep and getting dressed and trying to find people to talk to and everything. I'm really used to games that are kind of more of directional type games, you know, and that's not something I grew up with. Now, let's get that out of the way. I grew up with games just like this where you kind of had to figure out what to do. But I like the fact that they've kind of reverted back to that, even though the beginning was a little bit of a slow start, and then once the action actually started, it kind of just threw you right into it. I love how it got rid of the first two main characters or main-ish characters just by flinging them out into space, and then immediately you're thrown into isolation, as it were, you know, as per the title. Slow start to the beginning of the game, but it kind of just threw you right into being alone and being in the dark. And as is most horror games nowadays, they give you the first person perspective, and then they kind of just make you the sole survivor, the only person left in, you know, whatever universe you're in. Dead Space, of course, being one of the few exceptions where you're in a third-person perspective, but you got a lot of good examples of horror games in the first person, like this one and Outlast, and I guess even Dead Island can really be considered somewhat of a horror. It's more like a zombie survival, but it's got horror elements to it because, you know, if you play by yourself, well, that's exactly it. You're by yourself. So lot of chances to be really immersive and interactive in this type of area. As for the graphics, this game is gorgeous. I mean, it's not like the most high-end graphic, you know, looking type game. It's not, you know, Crysis 3 or Crysis 2 or Crysis 1 even. You know, it's not super duper high fidelity graphics, but it's done well enough to a point where you can look at it and say the darkness is actually beautiful, which is crazy to even think, because who would think that shadows are just can look this good? So I gotta say, I'm very pleased with the game, with what the game looks like graphically, especially since we are kind of, and I personally am in a sense of, you know, in this day and age, of course, with all the high-end graphics going on, I'm kind of reverting back to the good old days when games weren't really, you know, graphically beautiful, but they were fun to play. And this game absolutely does the job in terms of looking good, but also being fun to play. And I like how they did the lighting so perfectly. Black is black, and when you're in the light, it's bright as hell, but it's done so perfectly to a point where you still feel this sense of darkness, you know what I mean? And again, who knew the darkness could be so beautiful? So even after the first half hour of this game, I gotta say, I'm really excited to play this game even further. It's tempted me to keep going because even though we haven't run into the alien yet, which we all know we're going to, it's still kind of open-ended. We'll see how we get introduced to the alien, because as Riley, I think is her name, or whatever, Amanda. We're going to call her Amanda because her first name's Amanda. I think her last name is Riley. I can't remember. As Amanda, we are unsure of what exactly is going on. So we're kind of going to find out with her and how exactly we're going to be introduced to the alien. And I cannot wait. But that is unfortunately going to bring this episode of Halftime to a close. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I'll be happy because you watched it. And check the links in the description below. Go to my Facebook, like my Facebook, follow my Twitter, do all the social interactive crap that we have to do nowadays to really stay connected with each other. And, of course, follow me on Twitch. I stream Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. as of right now until I can finally land that Twitch partnership. And I'm still collecting money for my Extra Life campaign to raise money for my local hospital. So any loose change you have lying around that you can't really figure out what to do with, send it my way and make kids' lives that much better. But until the next time, my friends, I'm Adam Wolf. This is Alien Isolation. And don't forget to subscribe.